What is going on? It is the Obscurest Tourist, and today I come to you from a very special place, an infamous place in New Mexico, to the world. It is Roswell, New Mexico, and we are here at the International UFO Museum and Research Center. And I just got myself some tickets. So let's show you around, because this looks pretty awesome. Everyone needs a parking spot.
Wristbands, good in and out till 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Bathrooms on the very back wall, right hand side for women in the corner.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Grab myself a ticket, and look at that. A very, very reasonable price of just $7. Let's head on inside, check out what it's all about. And they're getting right into it right away. Look at these guys. The incident that put Roswell on the international map, as they say. The UFO crash. Little diorama here of the supposed crash. A timeline of events, of the things that happened just outside Roswell. One of the first reports came out on July 3rd, 1947, but the official story didn't get released to the public, or the Army's version, the Air Force's version of the story didn't come out till July the 8th. If you don't know anything about Roswell and the infamous incident, I will put some information below this video, but if you're watching this video, I assume you know exactly what happened that day, that week, and the stories and legend that have come out ever since. A depiction of one of the aliens and what it looked like. One of the bodies, one of 4 bodies found, supposedly found that day outside of Roswell. An artist's rendering of what the UFO looked like. Said the craft that it reportedly exploded over New Mexico described the craft as heel-shaped. Look at that. William Mack Brazel is the farmer who found the debris field on his farm. A picture that has been seen 1,000,000 times by people interested in aliens and the mystery of UFOs. Just some of the actual headlines that came out after the reported crash of the flying saucer, then known as the Roswell saucer. And then the Air Force's official rebuttal of what happened. Weather balloon. Nobody's buying that. A continuation of the timeline of events. July 9th and 10th, and the damage control that the Air Force put out to the world regarding the supposed crash. radio broadcast that first announced the crash in 1947. Some of the instruments. Project Mogul was the third official explanation for the Roswell crash, blaming it on an Army Air Corps balloon device. You can see it just above there. An artist's rendering of the crash and recovery field on a farm a few miles outside of Roswell. A timeline of events leading up to the Roswell incident and leading up to what would eventually become the Cold War, because New Mexico and the United States Air Force played an integral role in all of it. Interestingly enough, you can now rent out one of these Atlas missile silos just outside of Roswell, privately owned, and on Airbnb for about $800 US a night. Pretty wild. The Atlas missile program played an integral part in the Cold War post Roswell incident. Just some of the photos depicting what the Air Force was up to. 1944 United States Army Air Corps Class A uniform here in this display case. What is happening over there? Look at that. That is so cool. And this was the actual set design and set pieces for a TV show called Making Monsters. I'll have to do a little more research on when that aired, because I have never heard of it. Life size though, apparently. Look at how cool these are. And then you've got the giant UFO right there. One thing people don't mention about Roswell is the glute work that the aliens did before arriving to Earth. Look at that. Look at the buns on that alien. Wow. That's butt goals right there. They've got some of the movies that were inspired by the Roswell incident, including this one right here, Communion, one of the first alien movies I ever watched when I was a young teen. It scared the heck out of me. Starring none other than Christopher Walken. I assure you, it was a scary affair. More examples of the movies that were inspired, directly inspired or indirectly inspired by the Roswell incident. Look at the War of the Worlds, one of the biggest crazes, and might actually be one of the earliest hoaxes to ever be pulled on the American public. Don't remember this movie. And of course, The X-Files. Huge, huge inspiration to me, and played a big part of my life as a kid. referenced many, many times throughout its 9-season run. Look at that. Young Mulder and Scully. David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. What a different time. Another amazing movie that depicted an alien abduction. Supposedly a true story. Also pretty freaky. Very cool movie. Absolutely love some of the models here. Very, very atomic. 1950s. You can really tell where a lot of the design of the time was inspiring to mid-century modern and the atomic craze of the time. Very cool. And these are some of the actual artifacts found, not taken by the military, the Air Force back then. You can see a piece of metal. I don't know if you can really see it in there. Metal, a button, and some other metal pieces. Some pictures taken years later at the crash site during a television, a sci-fi channel did an episode ran its own investigation on the crash. Don't think it yielded much. What is the Roswell Museum without the American flag? Look at it, hanging in all of its glory. Interesting quote. The evidence is overwhelming that planet Earth is being visited by intelligently controlled vehicles from off the Earth. Stanton T. Friedman, not sure of the year of attribution for that, but I tend to agree. One of the most interesting stories, enduring stories that came out of the Roswell incident is the CIA's and the military's supposed autopsy of the alien bodies found at the crash site. This is a little wax figure of what that scene looked like. That's pretty cool. Pretty creepy. Pretty cool. The details are pretty awesome, actually. She seems very disinterested in the whole thing. A model of the contraption concocted and used to help preserve the found bodies at the crash site. So much detail here. And another preservation device used to, what else? Preserve the bodies of the visitors to our planet that day in 1947. Look at those feet. They even have a little display for UFO classifications and what they mean. You got nocturnal light, daylight disk, radar visual, close encounters, or close encounter of the first kind, of the second kind, and of the third kind. And then you even have the fourth kind. Pretty interesting display that depicts and recounts some of the mythology behind UFOs and aliens, known as ancient aliens Goes all the way to Asia, Africa, and eventually North America. It is a worldwide phenomena depicted in ancient scripture and written about, and even drawn on cave dwellings, ancient cave dwellings of visitors from other planets. Pretty compelling stuff. Quite a popular museum, one of the busier ones that I've been to on my travels. And why not? The subject matter is pretty amazing. And what is talk of aliens and an alien museum without the research part? And this comes into the title of this museum. The Research Center is a display about NASA. This is the Very Large Array. Interesting. Going to visit that tomorrow. That is in just south of Albuquerque, north of here. Probably have another video on that too. Some of the reported incidents of other alien and UFO crashes throughout the world. Colonel Halt, 1981, known as the Rendlesham incident. A lot of incidents here. Some weird psychedelic alien art of some sort, for some reason, hanging up here at the museum. That's just weird. More weird art, no doubt painted and drawn by stoners. Why does it always seem like stoners are always doing this alien art? My brother loves aliens. Big stoner. Is there a correlation? I don't know. Kind of like this one, though. Stop. All right. I respect your space. More completely bizarre and unhinged alien art. And look at this guy. He's kind of in a little seductive, playful pose. Peeking around the corner. Just wants to see if you want to hang out. See what you're up to. What's up with this guy? Looks to be in pain. Okay, found my favorite painting in the museum here. Look at this. Like Bigfoot. Is that Geronimo and two aliens? Love that. Just sitting by a fire. We gotta do it, right? We gotta go in.
Okay.
Let's go. It's like a little holodeck, like in Star Trek. Cool is this?
Press to begin.
See what happens.
Warning. Massive nuclear event detected. Proceed with caution. It was July 1945 when the U.S. Army conducted the first detonation of a nuclear weapon at the Trinity site in southeastern New Mexico. The explosion's destructive power was comparable to about 22 kilotons of TNT. This event sent a message to the entire galaxy. You are not alone.
New objective. Investigate nuclear event. Warp travel engaged. 3, 2, 1.
The visitors have tracked the energy signature here to Earth. Let's just say that we might be getting a few more visitors than we bargained for.
Initiating descent and landing protocols. Atmospheric conditions are observed.
I really hope you enjoyed my visit to the Roswell UFO Museum and Research Center as much as I did, because I absolutely had a blast. And for $7, you can't beat it. Admittedly, my expectations were pretty low. I actually had no expectations whatsoever, but I was blown away. So highly recommend coming to this museum if you are in the neighborhood, that is. For now, it is the Obscurus Tourist saying, so long, take care of yourselves, stay beautiful, and until our next otherworldly adventure. See you later. Look at these guys. See you later, buddies.